Assalamualaikum everyone. Now I want to brief regarding project. First, we go through the lesson plan. Everybody can download it from the UFuture. I already upload this document. This document presents the particular of the subject, but my concern regarding this document is on the assessment. You can see the assessment. We have 4 assessments for this semester. This subject don't have the final exam. Regarding the project, report and workshop, I will explain later. Alright, now as you can see, we have 5 time meetings for this semester. In this presentation, several things I want to highlight to everyone. After 21st of October, I will open the topic in I Discuss Your Future. I want everybody respond to my topic because the topic is related with your project. Regarding the project, I have different presentation. Later I will present to you. But now, another thing that I want to highlight is regarding the seminar 3. You have a presentation which is workshop 1 and workshop 2. Workshop 1 and workshop 2, your presentation will related with your project. Same goes on the final presentation, workshop 3 and workshop 4, also related with your project. Your project presentation, I will evaluate through the YouTube. Means you must record all the process that involve in your project. Regarding the workshop, the things that you need to present, I will present to you on another presentation. Next, I want to highlight is regarding the activity. When you see on the second seminar, column activity, you will have the field study. What you need to do is you need to meet the actual community, and what you should do, you should ask for their problems. Their problem become your project. Means you need to have the actual or real world problems. It is good if you have a real problem that related with the technology. I means you can solve the problem by using technology, which is synchronized with our subject. The meaning of the community, number of people in the community is at least 12%. At least. You can go and meet any community. You can select by your own, but you need to discuss with me first. Therefore, what I mentioned earlier, you need to respond to my open topic in I Discuss after 21st October. Because I want to know which community that you want to engage, what kind of problem that become your focus for your project. Alright, finally, on this lesson plan, I want to talk about tests. The test will be held online after the study week. The actual date I will mention to you guys later. I think that's all from me. Okay, we continue with the project presentation. Alright, regarding the project, the person in the group, maximum is 5 person per group. You can select your own team members. Next is you must have the real community, at least 12% minimum that we claim as a community. So you need to figure out what their problem, because their problem become your focus in your project. So how you can figure out their problem? Example, you can do a survey, or maybe you can do interview, or maybe you can do an observation. But anything that you do must have a proof. For example, if you do a survey, you must have a survey question, sample of survey question, and sample answer from the community regarding the survey question. You need to snap a picture or record a video during meeting with the community. Everything that you record or snap, you must put in your project portfolio as a proof. After that, you will analyze their problem. Then you try to propose your solution. Later, you will come up with one prototype in order to solve their problem. When you finish your prototype, you must get back to the community again and present your solution to them and receive their feedback regarding the solution that you propose. Once again, During the meeting, you need to record as a proof. Then you need to put in your project portfolio. Okay. Regarding the project, we have two types of portfolio that you must produce. The first is the project portfolio. You must prepare as a group. Second is the student self-reflection portfolio that you must prepare individually. This slide can be your guideline to prepare your portfolio for your both portfolio, either for your project or for your student reflection portfolio. Next, this slide want to tell you what is the project portfolio. Project portfolio is a collection of your best work sample. What means by best work sample? As you can see on the slide, there is the example of the best work sample, which is compilation of workshop 1, workshop 2, workshop 3, and workshop 4. So that's what I means. Actually, workshop 1 until workshop 4 is related with your project and your project portfolio. It's not limited on that. It also you must include other related activities such as your survey question, your image, your meeting report. You can put everything on your project portfolio. In other words, every process from the start until end the project, you must record and put into your project portfolio. The last point I want to highlight what is the portfolio is. Previously, in common, portfolio is a document that we need to bind. Nowadays, you are free to use such as website as your project portfolio, or maybe you can use other social media as your project portfolio. This slide want to guide you what is the content other that we discussed just now must include into your project portfolio. However, if you use website as your medium project portfolio, is not necessary for you to create table of content because the menu on the website already has a table of content. So I encourage you to use the website as your project portfolio. But another thing I want to highlight is the last point on the slide, which is you must include the link to each member self-reflection portfolio. As I mentioned earlier, this project you need to submit two types of portfolio. Finally, when you finish out everything, you need to compile in one recording video and upload it on the YouTube and give me a link for me to access, because I will evaluate your project through the video presentation that you put on the YouTube. Moreover, this slide want to tell you the medium where you can use as your portfolio. Okay, this is a 3 example that you can figure out where you want to use as your medium for your project portfolio. You can use the online platform such as blog, Blogspot, WordPress, or maybe you can use websites such as Wix or Google Page. Finally, you can use your social media as a medium for your project portfolio. Now, we want to talk about the self-reflection portfolio. As I mentioned earlier, this slide gonna be your guideline. However, it's not limited what stated in the slide. You can put anything that you think related with the project. Okay, for example, stated in this slide, reflecting on learning. So you can put your idea or maybe your opinion regarding this subject. Next, you can comment regarding the project or maybe your team members. Next, you can comment on the process, how your teammates finish up or contribute or done their tasks. Or maybe you can talk about yourself. Is it the subject really helped you to develop your skill, and anything that is related with yourself and reflect to the subject. Or maybe you can give your advice, your idea to the community. Alright. Finally, as I mentioned, this project you need to put on the YouTube, compress it as a one video, upload on the YouTube. I will evaluate your project through the YouTube. That's all for the project. Okay, now we are on the last presentation. Workshop. Okay, as you can see, we have workshop 1 until 4. However, I already merged, so we will do the workshop 1 and workshop 2 in same day, same as workshop 3 and 4. We will do the presentation on the same day. Okay, actually this slide just a guideline for you. Okay, just brief guideline. Okay, just give you the idea what will be the workshop looks like. Okay, so the workshop 1, we will focus on empathies, which is we need to understand the group of user. So you need to go to the community. So you need to get the feedback from the community. What is their
current issue, current problem. So when you go back to the campus, you need to analyze. And try to understand and figure out what is the root of the problem that the user give us. Okay, on the workshop 2, we try to define the user problem and try to figure out what is the best solution, okay, best solution to solve the problem. On the workshop 3 is the ideate. So we will use the coding tool. Hopefully the problem that you receive from the user, we can solve using the technology. That's why I mentioned in previous presentation, it is good if you receive the problem from the committee that related with the technology, because we try to troubleshoot the problem, we try to solve the problem within the scope of the technology, okay, synchronized with our subject title. All right, and then on the workshop 4, okay, you need to develop the prototype. You can use Canva or you can use paper to create your prototype, or maybe you can develop a mobile app maybe. And then the final, which is the project presentation, that you need to record the video. So you need to test your prototype by create the simulation. Or maybe you can ask your committee, okay, to give a feedback regarding the proposed idea in order to solve their problem. All right, this is just a guideline. All right, the detail you will learn in the lecture session. All right, in workshop 1, what kind of tool that we can use? Okay, maybe you can use empathy maps, use case exploration canvas, or maybe user persona profiling. So all these tools, we have example in this slide, so I will show you later. So in workshop 2, okay, how we want to define or describe the user actual problem, we will use 5W1H, which is what, where, when, why, and how. And we will use the fishbone diagram. However, for the workshop 3, we only have one tool, which is we use coding. Workshop 4, you need to develop the prototype. Maybe you can illustrate using pen and paper. Maybe you can sketch, or maybe you can develop the prototype using box. Maybe you need to craft the prototype, or maybe you can develop the mobile apps. All right, so the final is the testing. Okay, so we just go through, okay, what is the workshop 1, and we look the example of the tool that we will use on the workshop 1. Okay, actually you will learn in the lecture 0, 1 and lecture 2. You also learn on the lecture 3 and 4. Okay, this is the example of the empathy map. I think you can read, right? You can try to figure out what the tool want to present, okay, what kind of data, okay. This is how we use the empathy map. Okay, this is the use case exploration canvas, and this is the template of user persona profiling. Okay, this is the example. So on the workshop 2, we will use 5W1H and fishbone diagram. So you can use the open-ended question. Actually, 5W1H you can use at the first stage when you want to meet the community. Okay, for example, you use a survey question, or maybe you set several interview question. You can use 5W1H. This is the diagram for the fishbone diagram. Okay, I will teach you how to use this during the lecture hour. And workshop 3, how we want to present our idea. So we use coding tool. So we will start on the grade 2,2 in the middle, the yellow box over there. This tool I will teach you during class hour. And the workshop 4, you need to develop your prototype. As I mentioned, you can use Canva, or maybe you can use paper and prototype, or maybe you can create or craft using box in order to develop the product, or maybe you can develop the mobile apps if you need to. It's no limitation. Depend on your creativity and how critical you are in order to solve your problem and produce the product. Alright, so I can conclude for my briefing, you need to be creative and innovative So that's all for now. Until we meet again. Thank you. Assalamualaikum.